Hi there, this is Kerry Palmer here with a trophy guide for Final Fantasy VII Remake. This guide is for the Ultimate Weapon Trophy, which requires you to beat the Shinra Combat Simulator Battle Challenge that you unlock in hard mode after completing the game. You must complete all previous battle challenges to unlock the Top Secrets Battle Challenge. Before we begin in earnest, there are some key requirements you need to have completed. First, I strongly recommend that you start this challenge at level 50 on all of your characters. These are some of the toughest enemies in the whole game, so you will need to be as strong as you can be. I would also recommend making sure that you equip weapons that have unlocked Reprieve for all of your characters. This will keep your party alive during one-hit knockout attacks. I completed this challenge with Cloud, Barret, and Aerith. For materia, you need at least 2 members with Revival, and everyone needs a healing materia. For Barret, I also used a maxed out prayer materia, allowing him to heal the whole party without using MP. For elemental attacks, I had fire and lightning materia equipped on all characters, which complemented most of the enemy's weaknesses. For defense, you need to stack the odds in your favor. On Cloud and Barret, in their armor materia slots, equip your fire materia linked with a level 2 or level 3 elemental materia. When equipped in your armor slots, this combo will prevent or even absorb any fire damage that this character receives. Aerith won't have this, but can compensate by linking a barrier materia with a magnify materia. This will allow you to cast Barrier, Mana Ward, and Mana Wall on all party members at once for the cost of 1 spell. After this, your other choices can come down to personal preference, but I found having a steadfast block materia on each of my characters allowed for them to consistently survive the more devastating attacks. I recommend equipping Cloud with a Transference Module accessory. This will allow him to use his Limit Break more often. Speaking of Limit Breaks, I recommend using Aerith's level 2 Limit Break, Planet's Protection. This challenge pits your team against your own summons. On hard mode, these bosses won't hold back, but as you have likely beaten these summons already, here's some quick tips. The enemies will almost always attack whichever character you are controlling. You can use this to direct their attacks to the healthier characters, before swapping over and allowing the other characters to attack from a distance and heal up. Also, as you go from fight to fight, try not to use too much MP. You will recover half of each character's MP at the start of each fight, but if you use it all too early, you will have a hard time in the later encounters. For Shiva, avoid her whiteout attacks by staying close and dodging. Getting hit by this will mean massive damage. When she summons her Frost Familiars, your magic damage will be blocked. Keep up the regular attacks until she is unguarded, and then hit her with a Fira attack. This should pressure her, which will allow you to increase her stagger meter quickly with more fire and stagger abilities. You may also choose to use Ifrit as a summon now, which will help you reserve MP for the rest of the fights ahead. However, you may also want to reserve your summon for the later fights. For Fat Chocobo, the key is to attack until you need to block. The Chocobo attacks infrequently, but it is strong when it does attack. High stagger abilities like Cloud's Focused Thrust or Barret's Focused Shot will be able to easily pressure the big bird, so use them in tandem to generate the most stagger. When the Moogles start summoning other enemies, use Cloud's Triple Slash and other members' abilities to take the new enemies down quickly. They are weak, but if they are allowed to live for long enough, they can knock out the whole party. For Leviathan, the same attack and block strategy applies. The best tactic here is to use an Arcane Ward from Aerith to cast multiple thunder-based spells at once. Occasionally, Leviathan flies around to do its Spinning Dive attack. This one packs a punch, so make sure you are controlling your healthiest character as it gets ready for this attack, and that you are ready to block. You will also have some time to run around the map and position yourself away from the other party members so they don't get struck at the same time. For each of these remaining fights, try to keep your party health in check. Leviathan's Tidal Wave attack will knock out most of your party members unless you have Reprieve available to you. If your characters are half health, don't wait. Get everyone back up and healthy, especially your characters that have Revive. Once the tornadoes have been summoned, keep your party moving around constantly. If your AI companions get stuck in a tornado, briefly take control of them and move them away from danger. They can usually look after themselves once you guide them to safety. Now, get ready for the real challenge. Bahamut is up next, and is much more difficult to deal with. This dragon hits hard, so it's very important that you are using your player-controlled characters to block and draw focus, while you change to your other characters to get some hits in, heal, and spread out. I recommend using Aerith's Mana Wall to protect the whole team when you can, without draining her MP fully. When you have spare moments, use Soul Drain to steal some MP from the boss. Watch out for Umbral Strikes. This attack cannot be blocked and does roughly 90% of Cloud and Aerith's health. Using Mana Wall and circulating through characters should help you be prepared for when this attack is used. It will be difficult to keep Reprieve available, but try to do so for as long as possible, at least on one character that can revive the others. When you are halfway through this fight, Bahamut gives you a taste of your own medicine and summons some help. Ifrit joins the battle to make your life harder, but luckily, you prepared for this. With 2 of your characters using elemental materia linked with fire materia, the damage from Ifrit will either be entirely negated, or even better, will actually heal these characters. Because you came prepared, you can focus on taking Bahamut down, while Ifrit stomps around in frustration. Bahamut has a countdown timer in this match, counting down from 5 to 1. Once Bahamut counts down to 1, you have about 60 seconds to prepare for his party wipe attack, Mega Flare. If Aerith's Limit Break is available, now is an excellent time to use it. While it won't stop the damage of Mega Flare, so long as you have Reprieve available to leave you at 1 HP, your characters will then be immune to attacks. This gives you enough time to revive and heal your party members before taking damage again. If you can't use her Limit Break, try to use Mana Wall or heal your characters to full before the attack is unleashed. After Mega Flare, Bahamut will start counting down to another Mega Flare attack. Hopefully by this point, he has half of his health or less. You'll need to try to take him down before his second Mega Flare attack, as it is very unlikely that Reprieve will be able to save you this late into the fight. Keep using Barrett's Prey ability and Aerith's Mana Wall spell when possible to keep your team's defenses high, while still trying to preserve some MP for the last fight. And don't forget to use your limit breaks, they don't come with you between fights. If you've made it this far, you will be staring at the Pride and Joy prototype. This final boss is actually easier in some ways than the last boss we just fought. To start the match, move your character out of the way of the opening beam cannon attack. This will activate Reprieve if it hits you and leave you compromised for the rest of the fight. Don't hold back now, you're in the final stretch. Pride and Joy hits hard, but if you stay behind the robot when possible, you can avoid most of its attacks. Use Cloud to stay in close and continue to hit with high stagger abilities, while Barrett and Aerith attack at a distance. Use Aerith's Arcane Ward to double stack Thunder Spells. Stay out of the range of its Brute Force attack. If it manages to catch and pick up one of your party, try to use lightning attacks to stagger one of its limbs. This boss is hard countered by your fire immunity. Just make sure that your only fire susceptible character stays out of the pools of magma that it creates. If you can stay behind it for most of the fight, it won't be long before you've bested this prototype and earned yourself the Ultimate Weapon Trophy. You did it! Not only does this give you the satisfaction of having bested one of the game's hardest challenges, but you also unlock the Gote Damurung. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That lets one party member start each battle with a fully charged limit meter. Their limit meters will also charge much faster in battle. This is an excellent aid to help you finish the rest of the game on hard mode, or even better, let you breeze through old challenges that gave you trouble before. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you unlock this trophy with ease. I've been Kerry Palmer, stay safe.